January 26, 1940. Dear Marg. Your letter received Wednesday, and really, dear, I was wondering what the trouble was. I feared you had this flu that's going around. Mother was in bed 3 days, but feels much better today. It seems that everything has been happening to me these last 2 weeks. I received word from the Air Force at last with a form to fill in. But fear I have little or no chance there, as I am over 26 years of age and have not got my senior matric, also no actual flying experience. The same day I received this report, a call for mappers and surveyors was made by the 1st Survey Regiment in connection with the artillery. So, I went to Kirkland Lake and tried the examination, got 87%, so felt rather proud of myself, even with my trigonometry a little rusty. I was sent before the medical board at Noranda to learn that I have a heart strain caused from overtaxing my strength or becoming overexhausted. The strain is 5 or 6 years old, but have had other lesser strains since. Otherwise I was A1, but doctors advised me to take treatment under a local doctor. The thing that bothers me is I am unfit for the army, at present anyway. However, the doctors said if I cared to go to Montreal in about 5 months and they find no further defects, then they will take me. It certainly took the wind out of my sails and was very disappointed, as this regiment is for other units of the Army, Navy and Air Force. On completion of training and at time of transfer, the boys get a rank promotion and a certificate equivalent to a civic surveyor's degree. I intend trying again next summer or before if they recruit for surveyors again. I haven't seen a doctor as yet for fear he tries to make me go to bed or lay around and be quiet. That I couldn't afford, or could do. I'd go crazy. If the doctor had said someone has your heart, lad, I would have known right off what the trouble is. So, I am back selling monuments for the company again and am working really hard, starting at Cobalt, and will work north. There doesn't seem to be much development in 2 other prospects I had for work, and it's too darned expensive traveling around looking for work. Well, darling, enough of yours truly. I am glad you have taken up skiing. It's a real sport with lots of thrills and spills. We have lots of snow here. You say you are sharpening up the old skates. Gosh, I wish we could have a skate together, or a dance, nice long slow one. I guess Gil is in your city for a few hours tonight. He was sworn in as a guard and is taking a prisoner to Kingston. He feels quite a man carrying a gun and a badge. Well, Marg, that's about all the news from this part of the country. Don't study too hard, dear, you know all work and no play makes Margie a dull girl or something like that. I don't think you could even be dull, so the proverb is all wrong. I find the little studying I do very interesting and anything but dull to me. So long for now, dear, and write soon, won't you? As ever. Roger XXX. February 5, 1940. Dear Marg. Thanks for the letter, dear. You certainly think of more news to put into a letter than anyone I know. If I can cover 2 pages, I think I've done noble. So, you are entertaining the soldiers at the exhibition. I saw a few pictures in the Star showing some of the soldiers and the girls at the X, but I didn't see you. I imagine you would have lots of fun there. The Red Cross is making a drive, or should say an exceptional effort for the drive. They have the skating rink once a week, and the tennis club put on a dance last Monday and last night. It was quite a success, as this is the week of the Northern Bonspiel in this town. The town is practically flooded with curlers. I was down for an hour or so before the dance, but the ice was slow and playing poor. However, today it's much better, and Haileybury have 3 unbeaten teams in the running. They certainly give wonderful prizes. For contests in all, and in one the winning team gets a sterling silver tea service each, a really wonderful set. I saw a doctor the other day and he confirmed the military doctor's statement regarding the heart strain. He believes I received the strain about 3 years ago, caused from overexhaustion or flu. I told him I had never had pneumonia. I believe it was from the cold I had in Jellicoe 4 years ago. Since then I have repeatedly strained it so that it has never had a chance to heal. I have to cut down on the snacks and absolutely no liquor. I have quit smoking in the mornings and the liquor end of it doesn't bother me. He advised me not to do much skiing or skating and no heavy lifting, so you see I am practically an invalid in the making. He wanted to take an X-ray of my chest, heart and kidneys, but I said nix. They would have me in bed first thing I know. Well, darling, how is your skiing? Did you have good snow over the weekend? I see the mild spell has spoiled the skiing for the rest of the week unless there is a change in the weather. What do you think of the coming elections? I certainly hope we get the right party, or should I say man. To date, I am in favor of King because I think, although he is slow, he is thorough and best of all a statesman. On the other hand, Magnan has done nothing but criticize and has not tried to help in the least. In other words, he is just a politician and you can class Mitch and Drew with him. Oh well, the election will be fast and furious. February 21, 1940. Dear Marg. Your letter received last Saturday and was certainly pleased to hear from you. I had to laugh about your skiing experience. I can just imagine you plowing through the snow on your nose, but I'll bet you didn't laugh at the time. I know, it's not so funny. I was also amused when you said that the sun was so warm that you rolled up your sleeve of your sweater. We think it's just about perfect if we can discard our coats. However, Sunday was quite mild, temperature about 8 or 10 degrees above, warmer on the south side of the hills. In fact, the snow packed to the skis, and as we had only dry wax with us, it was hard work climbing and the hills slow. But I expect to try it again this Sunday and will go prepared, just like a scout. I was in Kirkland Lake Monday and Tuesday. They have 3 drives for war funds all going at the same time. The Red Cross, Legion, and Salvation Army. They just about coin you to death if you haven't got their badges pinned on. I looked like a veteran of old by the time I had put in the day. I got quite a laugh at the hotel where I stay. There were 2 young girls about 16 working for the funds. They came into the hotel and nailed all the travelers, then stood at the doorway to look for fresh victims. 2 of the travelers kept edging them on to double on each that they stopped. In other words, make the people buy 2 at once. Every time they succeeded, the travelers chipped in a coin. It was getting pretty good by afternoon as side bets were going on as to whether the girls would sell their next victim double. Some fun. Got a letter from Jack the other day. His team lost out to Timmins. He was pretty disappointed as one more win after that game would give them the mining league for their class. He has bought himself a radio and a few pieces of furniture for his room. He calls it his bachelor's apartment, bedroom and bath. The house seems free of colds, at least, serious colds. Don was the last to have one. The little nut went outside for a survey class at school without hat or coat. Well dear, how are the soldiers getting along? I bet you have lots of fun going down there to help out. I have listened to a few of their broadcasts. I could hear girls' voices but didn't recognize yours. Muriel Eldridge, known to us as Moo, was at one but not in Toronto. I think it was in Welland. There is absolutely no recruiting up here at present, although I received a letter from the survey unit and they are asking if I wanted to appear before the doctors when they recruited next month. I don't know whether to or not. We'll see what the town doctor says when the time comes. Don wants to try, but I think him foolish. If he waits until next fall, he will have a year's schooling in mapping and surveying. Then again, he has just turned 18. Well darling, I guess I've said about all I can think of right now. Write soon, dear, and don't study too hard or fall for a soldier until I get a uniform on at least. As ever. Roger XXX.
Note from Phil Boyer. My cousin David informed me that Jack received a letter inviting him to try out for the Boston Bruins. Jack instead joined the Air Force.